Welcome back. Make sure you have your USB flash drive plugged in. Today we're going to add the goal of our game. The goal of our game is for the spaceship to survive, to make it to the dock at the end of the layout. So we've got some changes to make this happen. Windows E, go to your flash drive, Colstock, Game Dev, Space Shooter, and double click on the project file to open it. Let's go to our layers. Let's make sure all of our layers are locked. We're going to go back and work with the content layer, so we need to unlock it. Let's go back to our space layout. Now projects. We're going to insert a new object, a sprite that we call dock. Now we're going to make our dock. It's going to be pretty simple, pretty cheesy. Click on the layout. Should be on the content layer. And all we're going to do is go to our color palette, mark it 131, 131 for all channels, and we're going to fill the palette. We're going to position our dock to be at the very top of the layout, X400, Y125, and then we're going to change its width and height so it covers all the way across, 800 by 250. Let's go to our Z order, and as you can see, the dock is at the top of the content layer. Let's select it, go to Z order, and send it to the back. Now as you can see, the dock is the lowest object on the content layer, and that's what we want. We want the spaceship to be on top of it. Go back to layers and lock content, because we're done with that now. Let's go to our spaceship. We're going to add something called an instance variable. Instance variables allow you to track values associated with particular objects. We're going to add an instance variable called isVulnerable, and it's going to be a number, and by default it's going to be 1. IsVulnerable represents whether the spaceship can be hurt in any way, shape, or form. Whether enemies can, in effect, destroy it. We're going to use this instance variable in our code to control when the spaceship can be hurt and when it cannot be. So we need to go back to the space event sheet, which belongs to the space layout, and we're going to alter some of the events we already have. We're going to add an additional condition to spaceship on collision with enemies. Choose the spaceship, and under instance variables, choose compare instance variable. We're going to check to see whether isVulnerable is equal to 1. In other words, whether the ship can be hurt. We just added that condition to the event. Let's add another event. Choose a spaceship on collision with another object, and let's choose dock. Let's add an action. When the spaceship collides with the dock, let's set the value of its instance variable to 0 to signify that the spaceship can now not be hurt. Let's add another action. Let's produce a wait of 5 seconds. Add another action, which sets the value of health back to 3 and the score back to 0. So for now, when we win the game, we are going to wait 5 seconds, reset the health and score global variables, and we're going to add one more action to restart the layout, so that when you reach the dock, you just start the game all over again with a fresh set of lives and a blank score. Let's save it. Let's run it. See if our game's behaving the way we want it to. Okay. We're going to try to make it to the end. We're going to try to reach the dock. See if we can achieve our goal. If we make it to the dock, the code we just placed in the event sheet should run. It should wait 5 seconds, and we should start the game all over again with a fresh set of lives and with score equals 0. There's our dock. If we did our Z order properly, the spaceship should be on top. As you can see, it waited 5 seconds and I started all over again. Score 0, fresh set of lives.